So multi-view drawing 2, page 121. I'm going to start off with the page 546. Stop. I said the width of this is 5 inches. The height of it is 2. The depth of it is 2. The base is 1 by 2 by 5. The top is 3/4 by 1 by 3. We've drawn a drawing similar to this in the previous drawing. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Go to our layer properties, create our layers. To add a layer, we just go to new layer. I'm going to make about 5 or 6 layers here. The first layer, we're going to rename that layer to construction line or X line. Make that layer our red layer. Everything else in the line type is continuous, just the default line weight. The next layer is going to be your object layer, OBJECT. And I like the green for that layer, personally. Continuous. Our line weight, need to make that 0.5. Our next layer is going to be our hidden line layer. Using yellow for that one. I'm going to change my line weight first. That's going to be 0.25. My line type, got a load of line type. Go down to hidden 2. It's actually hidden 0.5x. So the hidden lines are really, really small. Just for our size of our drawings, that works out better. After we load it, we have to go back in and click on it in order to change it. Our layer 4, I'm going to rename that layer to center lines. I know we're not having center lines in this drawing, but you can reuse a template. If you go ahead and do it the first time, you don't have to go back and redo it. So let's go ahead and OK. Go load a center line up. We go center 2, which is 0.5x again. This matches out better with our drawing sizes. Center 2 right there. And again, we want to do 0.25 for that. Your object line is going to be 0.5. Your hidden lines, the center line is going to be 0.25. The next layer, or the last layer here, that we're going to use is dimension layer. DIM. I type DIN. MENSION. And I like to use a vibrant color like this fuchsia here, or purple. Those dimension lines are going to be continuous. And let's make this 0.25 as well. We're going to start off on our construction line layer. I'm going to activate my ortho mode. My ortho mode basically just takes my line straight up and down. and it actually forces those lines to go straight up and down that way. All right, so I need to go back and remember what my drawing size are. All right, so the base of this, we know the width of it is 5, the height of it is 2, and the depth of it is 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pan tool and drag it down here a little bit. Notice my properties dialog box is open over here. I usually try to get used to drawing with that to help you with your certification test. Otherwise, you'd have to go back up and waste time to open up your properties dialog box for your questions and answers. So let's get used to drawing with it open all the time. All right, so I know that box width is 5 inches. Put 5 there. If I wanted to go here, if I wanted to go down to the next one, I just hit tab and go 2. It's that simple. Now, you notice how that's really zoomed in and zoomed out? If you hit right here, zoom extents, it'll zoom it all the way in. Since we're working on this part here, this is what we're going to concentrate on. Now I know the top part of it is 3/4 of an inch by 1 by 3. So I know it's an inch off of each side, and it's only 3/4 inch thick. And it's 1 inch thick this way, but it's 1 inch by 3 inches. It's 1 inch wide, and it's 3 inches wide. Let's go back to my drawing. Really, all we have to do with this is basically take this line here, offset it by 1, and hit enter and click. If you offset this one and type in 3, it'll put it all the way to the other end. Now we can take it and offset this one up 1, which is automatically in there as 1. So hit enter, and I did not click it. You got to click it. Typed in there different number there. So let's go 1, and then click. Now, all we need to do now is just go to finish up this view. Let's go to our object line layer. I don't want to change the color. Just want to change the layer. Now you know why I'd use the green to draw with, because compared to the red, it makes it easier to see. Now, that's the front view. Actually, that's actually the top view. But it's real easy. You can actually turn that into the front view if you want to, but I just use it as top view. I'm going to take this line right here and offset it 2. Down here. And you already have your basically almost all of your lines in place. We do that one. And we do that one 2. I forgot to click it. And I'll offset that again by 1. And again, we're just taking and tracing over that line. Now you'll notice on the top view, you see a separation. You don't see a separation between that back section and the front. There's no separation here. It's just one plane, because this piece is actually coming up out of this piece. You see how I didn't take that one down further? I can go backwards here. I can go back and redo the thing. So I want to go here. And you notice how I don't have that line down here. See, I went up there and got that. I'm actually on the wrong line here. If you really want that security of having that line there, all you need to do is hit the offset button, type in 5, and then click. And then you can go back in here, just draw over your lines again. You see how it's snapped off there? My snaps are really sensitive on my home computer. But I can set it up any sensitivity I want. I just have it a high sensitivity. Now, that's the front view, your top view. If you click here and offset it again, now if you type in O, offset will come up. You don't even have to go spend your time going up. Type in 2. We still want it 2, so hit enter. Well, we released it. We didn't hit it. We're going to offset, type in 2. We're going to offset this again. We're going to type in 1. And we didn't do, we're on the wrong side when we clicked. Type in 2. Type in 1. And now we just finish up our drawing. And you'll notice this line here is going to get drawn in. Now, let me do this to help you out here, to show you something. The reason we use the layers is because it makes it look so much cleaner. It also makes it a whole lot less work for you to actually create your parts with it. Now we'll go to our dimension layer and dimension everything. We need to dimension our actually I need to change that one to, I really don't need to do that one because that's dimension in the front. And I believe I got that measurement wrong. That's actually 3/4 of an inch. That's why it's looking ugly. All right, so I need to get back 1 more quarter with this offset here. Need to go back 0.25. All right, that was not what I wanted. I want 0.25. There it's going to go. We want this one to go back 0.25 because this is supposed to be 3/4 of an inch thick. And all I'm doing is shortening those lines up there. Get my pan tool to scoot over here. Might as well, while you're, if you're drawing, make sure you get everything right. So we can actually shorten that up, or you can use this right here. Use the trim tool, trim that up, and that way it works good too. Now, construction lines, you don't have to get rid of the construction lines, but you do need to go back and re-dimension this since it would be the wrong dimension. And you would dimension it in both features here. And I need to change that. And got to change that layer, excuse me. We need to dimension this side here too. I go back and turn my construction lines off. Now, last thing we got to do is our dimension style. DIMSTY. Modify it. Primary units from decimal to fractional. Hit OK. I'll set current. Close. I did not change that layer on that dimension there. I got to do that first. I also need to dimension this part right here. This is where it was an inch. That's where I got the inch from for the thickness. I just mistakenly drew it. All right. So this was figure 5-46 stop. We've drawn a part like that before in another drawing. This drawing is a different drawing, so make sure you get the drawings always saved and do each drawing. So I'm going to save this. Hit the diskette with a save button. Figure 5.46. Stop. There's my tab up there, figure 5-5.46 stop. And so there you go.